What's up, connoisseurs? It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Thursday, August 8th. Hope you're doing well. And we're going to jump into today's live stream here momentarily. It's been a long day. It's been a long couple of days. I've been in meetings just nonstop, and seems like never a dull moment in MJ or crypto over the last few days. So we're going to jump into some earnings review. We'll review 6 companies today. We're going to review Aurora. They had a great report. Cronos. We've got VillageFarms, the Cannabis. We have Cresco and Ayr. So we're going to look at some earnings. We'll look at some reports, and we'll just have a nice chill session as well. If anybody does have any comments or questions or anything like that, let me know. As always, Jam in the house. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Hello, hello. I see we have quite a few people rolling in, so welcome to the live stream. We're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. I see we have some people rolling in. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to get started here in about 15 seconds. All right, jumping right to it. Once again, welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. Today is Thursday. It's August 8th. Hope you're doing well. We're going to review some earnings today. We've got 6 different companies. We'll look at the chart, what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. And full disclosure, I think I own every company that we're going to be discussing today. Yeah, I do. The only one I don't own is the Cannabist Co. So before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And I've just been pumping out the posts on there lately. It's the best way for me to get real-time updates out to the community. And be getting a ton of followers over there, so thank you very much. Appreciate that. And like I said, it's a great way for me to communicate with everybody in real time. And just in case we ever get censored or shut down on YouTube, it's great to be on multiple different platforms as well. I also posted this video a little over an hour ago. We had the Trump pump today. Trump talks about rescheduling and legalization. He basically thinks that nobody should be in jail, and with all the states legalizing, he's starting to change his tune. So he's showing some support for that. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he's starting to show some support now that there's the first pro MJ legalization ticket with the Democratic ticket. That'd be Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. So it's not that surprising to think about it. And as I've been saying, it's going to be crypto versus medicine in the spotlight this election cycle. And yeah, he did a very quick pivot and 180 on crypto. So not surprising to see him do that with regards to MJ, especially when you've got a Dem ticket that's pro MJ for the first time ever. There's also some news out that Trump says he has agreed to do 3 debates with Kamala Harris. So this is going to be interesting. I think it'll be a lot better than the previous one. While it was entertaining, it was, I don't know, my IQ took a hit when I was watching that. I just felt dumber at the end. But hopefully this one gets back to a little bit more civil and a little bit more mature adult speak, where, they're not just throwing each other under the bus. They're actually, providing solutions and answers to these big issues that are plaguing the world right now. So the proposed dates are September 4th with Fox, September 10th with ABC, and September 25th with NBC. So more to come on that. I had a lot of requests to do an earnings review on Aurora. So as I mentioned, we're going to do Aurora. We'll take a look briefly at Cronos. We'll look at VillageFarms. We'll look at Ayr, Cresco, and the Cannabist Co. So obviously going to try to keep this video as short as possible. If anybody hasn't seen this yet, you can just check out that video that I posted on it. I could just play it real quickly, I guess, here. Let me just go through it here. Of MJ, August 8th, 2024. So we'll play this real quickly.
Yeah.
Harris supports rescheduling marijuana and also says that no one should go to prison for marijuana offense. Do you agree?
I know it's really quiet after the fact. You might be able to turn on subtitles, but essentially he says, there's with people going to jail, and Kamala Harris supports rescheduling. And can you talk on that? Basically, is what he's saying.
Well, as we legalize it, I start to agree a lot more because it's being legalized all over the country. Florida has something coming up. I'll be making a statement about that fairly soon. But as we legalize it throughout the country, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's awfully hard to have people all over the jails that are in jail right now for something that's legal. So I think obviously there's a lot of sentiment to doing that. Yeah, please.
There you go. So he mentioned.
Yeah.
Quickly.
People going to prison for marijuana.
Yeah.
Harris supports rescheduling marijuana and also says that no one should go to prison for marijuana offense. Do you agree?
I know it's really. So basically, yeah, I turned on the subtitles. He said, as it gets illegal across the country, I think he stuttered on his words. He's getting a little older. I've noticed his speech has been a little bit kind of all over, sporadic lately, all over the place. But essentially, he says that Kamala Harris supports rescheduling and doesn't believe that anybody should be going to jail. And then, yeah, he did say that he has an announcement with regards to Florida. And then I went and asked Grok, which is X's AI. I said, what did Donald Trump say about MJ today? Donald Trump said he's starting to agree a lot more that people shouldn't be criminalized for MJ, given that it's being legalized all over the country. He also mentioned that he will reveal stance on Florida's MJ ballot measure relatively soon. And that's what I was thinking it was related to, but he didn't actually say that in the video, but X and Grok seemed to go a bit further and kind of allude to that. So maybe X was listening to my video or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, interesting to say the least. And we had double-digit gains on a lot of our stocks. And then, like I said, a lot of these MJ stocks. And then, like I said, with these debates coming toward the end of the year, and that'll be in September, that's very likely, towards September, October in the fall is when we could get rescheduling official as well before the elections. But that's, to quote Boris Jordan, the new CEO of Cureleaf, basically they're going to pump this as hard into the election as possible. So as close to the election as possible. So I think October, September, October, things could get really interesting. And that's when the charts are also showing we could see some fireworks into the end of the year. So we'll jump into Aurora. So Aurora announced their first quarter 2025 results. They delivered positive free cash flow, and stock has been really strong lately. I mentioned this to POW Group private members, and I think I mentioned it on my video there just earlier with the Trump pump. This is great to see that Aurora is showing some sentiment shift and showing some relative strength, and we could potentially confirm a monthly uptrend on Aurora soon, and I believe it was an inverse head and shoulders as well. Yeah, I think it was. So the fact that we're starting to see, why is that important? Everybody hates Aurora. Aurora burned a lot of people. Well, I personally own just a tiny YOLO position, but it's important because it's showing that, even a name like Aurora is showing strength. That's what we want to see. Last time when HHS came out with the announcement and then the DEA agreed to start the rescheduling process, we didn't have Aurora confirming a monthly uptrend, whereas this time around, leading into the elections where tons of names are starting to confirm monthly uptrends already, the fact that we were waiting on, the Tilrays, the CGCs, the Auroras, the OGIs of the world to confirm monthly uptrends. We want to see monthly uptrends across the board to be confident that the bear market is over and we're starting a new potential multi-year bull market, right? But just because we're in a new bull market doesn't mean we can't have pullbacks along the way, especially if the broader market is going to enter a bear market. But I do think that after crypto and big tech, AI, etc., goes into a bear market, I think MJ could pull back with it if there's big drops in some black swan or a big bearish day, but ultimately should go on to become the best performing sector while MJ turns into a bull market and those other names turn into a bear market. They like to run them inversely. So they delivered positive free cash flow of $6.5 million. They increased quarterly net revenue by 12% year over year. So $83.4 million. What a great quarter. So it wasn't on investing.com, which I noticed, which was weird. The last one they have there is May 29th, 2024. What's going on here? Yeah, that's weird. And it says 67.41. Toronto. I was thinking maybe it was US dollars. But yeah, May 29, 2024. I don't know what's going on there. But if we take a look here, 83.435 million was reported, and the estimate was 77.56. So they absolutely crushed that on medical sales. And then EPS estimate was negative 0.173, and it came in, it says 0.094, but I don't think that's right either. Just scroll down. Net loss. I think they had a net loss. Yeah, net loss. So net income loss was a negative 4.8 million compared to a net loss of 20.2 million in the year prior. So let me just bring it up here. Yeah, Q1 2025, saying negative 13. It's all over the place here. I don't know what's going on with that, but let me just take a look here, because if you take the amount of shares, take the loss, they had a loss of 4.8 million. And I didn't really have much time to go through all of these earnings. I just wanted to come on, do a live stream, kind of chill with everybody and go through it here. But if we take a look at the loss and we divide that by the amount of shares, so shares float at the moment, we have 54,049,000. So divide that by 5449. So yeah, it's but negative 0.09 for EPS. So it says positive 0.09. I think they meant negative 0.09. Not sure what was going on. Everybody seems to be all over the place with the numbers there. So moving on, generated adjusted EBITDA of 4.9 million, a year-over-year increase of 87%. Ends the fiscal quarter with debt-free MJ business and cash position of 182 million. So we're starting to see the ship turn around here. And again, I've done a video on this, how I was kind of comparing and looking at the Canadian companies. I'll do one for the US soon as well, but very differentiated. Aurora kind of focusing more on the medical aspect of the sector, right? So the milestone for the quarter, we delivered strong net revenue. We just go down here. Went through their cash, went through analyst estimates. So they did have a huge beat in terms of revenue. And then they were forecasting, it says here, yeah, negative 0.173 for EPS. So they had a pretty big beat there in terms of EPS as well. So overall, a fantastic quarter. And we'll just take a look at the chart here real quickly. We'll look at ACB on the NASDAQ. So we're no longer in a daily downtrend, which is great to see. On the weekly time frame, we did confirm a weekly uptrend with the low, high, higher, low, and higher high. And we got our follow through, which means our monthly higher low is now set, which is now down at 446. So that's now key support going forward. And as you can see, we're looking for this monthly higher low and higher high. So if we break 935, that gives us our higher low compared to this low, and then our higher high. So 935 is the major resistance to break. Break that, and we're in a monthly uptrend. So if we take a look at the inverse head and shoulders here, you would just go from the high to the low, and then the head, and then right shoulder. So this is inverse head and shoulders that's forming here. And just to get a rough estimate of what we could be expecting, I'll just draw it to right there. I like to use the real candle body, but yeah, we're looking at, say, a move up to around $30. That's obviously factoring in post splits. So as of right now, I think that we could see a little bit more chop, but leading into the fall, I think it's hard to tell how high these names are going to go. But a lot of our names in MJ are starting to get back to their monthly EMA 26s. If we take a look at a name like GTBIF, it actually got above its EMA 26. So if we take a look at ACB and what to expect if we follow, unless you think ACB is going to not participate in the upcoming bull market, well, that's one thing. But as of right now, if all of our MJ names are starting to trend back there, then there's a good chance that other names who haven't done so could. And ACB, that means we would be at a price tag of around $21 on the NASDAQ. So overall, we're starting to show some signs of life. And again, the fact that we're looking to confirm a monthly uptrend here is a big testament to this market dynamic shifting and the sentiment in the sector shifting and potentially starting a new multi-year bull market, because the more names that confirm monthly uptrends, the better. All right, moving on. So Cronos Group reported 2024 second quarter results. They had net revenue increased 46% year over year to 27.8 million. Industry-leading balance sheet with 848 million in cash and cash equivalents, and announced expansion of GrowCo designed to fuel global growth. So if we take a look at their estimates, we were forecasting 26.09 million, came in at 27.76, so a slight beat there in terms of revenue, but they did miss in terms of EPS, came in negative 0.02 versus negative 0.0033, so they're basically expecting a flat quarter, but it came in negative 0.02. So overall, not a bad report. So a recent joint venture in GrowCo is intended to ensure consistent supply of high-quality MJ biomass, fueling our global growth initiatives. And there was some rumors that they could potentially merge with Cureleaf, but that has not come to fruition, so we'll see what happens there. But overall, not a bad quarter. So you can see here net loss was 8.759 million, adjusted EBITDA negative 11 million and change, cash and cash equivalents 848 million. So keep an eye on Cron, because yeah, we could see some sort of acquisition, some sort of investment, strategic investment that could be accretive based on that size of and US entry as well. But yeah, the report overall not too bad. Total assets north of 1 million. And liabilities, I guess that would be in thousands of US dollars. Okay. Just go through a little bit quicker here. Yeah, so negative 0.02. All right, that's pretty much it. Yeah, not really much going on with Cron. So, like I said, the fact that it's been so quiet lately, definitely expecting some sort of news soon out of Cron. Also, VillageFarms had a decent quarter. Theirs is their Q2 2024, and they did rebound quite nicely in terms of their Canadian MJ segment, but their agriculture and produce sales were a little lackluster, to say the least. So VillageFarms International reported Q2 2024. Total sales grew 19% year over year to a record 92.1 million. Canadian MJ grew net sales 45% and retail branded sales 35% year over year to new records. And Canadian MJ delivered another quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA and operating cash flow. Canadian MJ only top 5 producer to grow market share sequentially, further expanding to number 2 national rank. And fresh produce sales grew 7% year over year with improved gross loss for first half of 2024. So I'll go through, just take the analyst estimates up here. 84.14 million was the estimate in terms of revenue, came in at 92.18 million USD, so big beat there. And then EPS is where it got hurt. They were forecasting negative 0.02, came in at negative 0.21. So big miss there in terms of EPS, so a bit of a mixed bag. So net loss for the produce segment was 8.3 million compared to a net loss of 0.7 million. So big drop off there. It's a name I hold, but it's a very small position. I'm still not 100%. Like, I like Pure Sunfarms and whatnot, but I don't know. It's hard to say if VFF's going to be around. Maybe they sell their MJ segment. I don't know. Hard to say what could happen here, but I'm not 100% sold on their business proposition. Like, just, produce and things like that. Yeah, and we're already seeing some uncertainty in this quarter with that, so we'll see what happens, but we've got some segment here. Entered into a strategic agreement with third-party supply. All right. So yeah, net loss 1.9 million. Just see what they're sitting on in terms of cash. Scroll down. Oh, this one's busy. Lots going on here. Let me just search for it. Cash. Yeah, consolidated cash flow from operations approved to 5.7 million. Cash used in operations 1.6 million. But let's cash and cash equivalents. There we go. So as of June 30th, 2024, we're sitting at 29,657,000. And it is down slightly from the year prior. Actually, that's December 31st, 2023. So just the end of last year. But like I said, pretty big mixed bag there in terms of results. A huge beat on revenue, but a huge miss on EPS. I did want to just take a look at Cron real quick here on the monthly time frame. So we're still in a monthly uptrend. Cron's one of the more bullish names in the space. Technically speaking, we're in a monthly uptrend: low, high, higher, low, and higher high, higher, low, and higher high. We're just scouting a monthly higher low compared to 189. But we are looking for an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here on the weekly time frame. And we did hit our target at 316, and right now it looks like it's a bear flag here on the weekly time frame. Yeah, it is. So if we can get over 257, that would negate it with follow through. But as of right now, yeah, it's still a bear flag here on the weekly time frame. That says we could be targeting about 181, which lines up with that EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on the weekly, and monthly support there at 189. So it's very possible that we see one more potential leg down. We could see a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but they're quite a ways away from seeing that cross. So that leads me to believe that we could just tighten up, go a little sideways, maybe even see one more leg down. And that would more than likely be a result of the broader market showing weakness as well. And we got a ton of death crosses on the horizon as well. If we take a look at Cron here, very close to seeing a death cross. MSOS ETF already had a death cross. So that increases the odds that we see that on Cron and more follow through to the downside potentially. VFF. Monthly time frame, monthly uptrend as well, so very similar. Low, high, higher, low, and higher high. We actually dipped back down here to 58 cents, but held key support there at 55 cents. And we're just scouting another monthly higher low compared to 58 cents at this point. And back down under monthly EMA 12, so that's not a great sign, but weekly time frame, same thing. Very similar. Could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, weekly downtrend. And if we take a look at VFF here, on the daily time frame, very close to seeing a death cross there as well. So very bearish in the short term here, technically speaking. All right, moving on. We've got Ayr Wellness. So AYR, not a great report. Yeah, they said that their basket size was down. It's starting to change. It's coming back the other way now, but overall not a fantastic report. If we take a look at the analyst estimates, they were forecasting 119.29 million, came in at 117.31, and then earnings per share EPS negative 0.255 came in at negative 0.34. And if we just take a peek at the stock, AYRWF on the OTC, they report in US dollars as well. We were up 17% though. And off the low of the day yesterday, up about just under 24%. See on the weekly time frame here, we already got the weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross out of the way. So again, more names that do that, the more that other names that haven't done so, like Cron and VFF, might do so as well. Monthly time frame, we did have support there at 165. We dropped to 160. Next support on deck's at 107. It was actually a double bottom there, 107, 108. So that's very strong support, $1 psychological. But we did confirm a monthly downtrend here as well with a lower high, lower low. So a bit of a head and shoulders here on the monthly time frame, but could be a bear trap at this point. Let's just take a look here. AYRWF daily time frame. Yeah, we had the death cross as well. So still below all of our daily moving averages. Just questioning how much more downside we would really see. But yeah, they had a big miss in terms of EPS and a decent miss there on revenue as well. And the CEO wasn't very happy, he said, with the performance. But like I said, he said things look to be a little bit more positive so far in the last couple of months. David Goubert. So scroll down here. Operating loss, as you can see, 4.6 million. Actually, no, that was Q2 2023. My bad. Yeah, they got everything all at the end on this one. So net loss, operating loss, 7.7 million. And then Q2 2023, it was 4.6 million. So they had a increased loss, but should benefit from the Florida market, adult use, whatnot. What do they got for cash? The company deployed 3.6 million of capital expenditures, so CapEx, in Q2, and remains a target with the company's guidance of approximately 20 million for the full year. AYR ended Q2 with aggregate cash and cash equivalents and restricted cash balance of 47.5 million. So not a huge boatload of cash, but 114.1 million fully diluted shares. If you take the net loss divided by that amount of shares, should give you the EPS of negative 0.34. yeah, not great cash position. And overall, you know, you have to think about these CapEx, right? These capital expenditures. These companies are going to have to deploy tons of CapEx as they roll out stores, right? And they're also in retail as well, whereas a lot of the Canadian operators, they're not really in retail. Some started out like Canopy Growth, like Tokyo Smoke and stuff, and some operators said that they believe that was the wrong way to go about it. And it's interesting too because of a taxation perspective as well, because like some retailers don't have to pay excise taxes, and then in the U.S., I'm not sure how that works, but yeah, interesting. And a lot of these companies, their sales are coming from retail sales, like not wholesale and etc. So overall, not a bad report, but just keep in mind that we are going to see a lot of CapEx once they start to expand. Like once we start to see legalization, they start to expand across the U.S. and internationally. That's why like a name like Curaleaf is not super profitable right now, is because it's focusing on Germany and Portugal and UK and Canada. It also just acquired Northern Green Canada, so it's now an LP as well, a licensed producer in Canada. So it has operations in Europe and Canada and all over the US. So that's why we're starting to see that, because they have to deploy tons of cash and CapEx, right? Whereas names like Trulieve are just focusing on one state and basically betting on that one state. They don't really have any international operations, right? So they're able to they get better margins, and they're in retail as well. I think they just hit like 200 stores or something like that. But moving over to Cresco. So Cresco Labs reports consistent profitability improvement with second quarter 2024 financial results, over 800 basis point year-over-year improvement in adjusted EBITDA margin. So revenue of $184 million. If we take a look at the analyst estimates, it was $184.73 million, so it came in slight miss. Earnings per share was forecasted at positive 0.02, came in at negative 0.11, so it was 0.11. Just take a look here. Oh, that's AYR. Bring that up here. Take a look at the chart here for Cresco in just a moment, but where's my Cresco? Yeah. So let's bring it up here. Cresco. Cresco Labs, CRLBF. Yeah, it says it reported. That can't be right. EPS is wrong there. Let me just go. That's why I got to check multiple different spots. But gross profit of $95 million, adjusted gross profit $97 million, gross margin, adjusted gross margin of 52% of revenue, SG&A of $54 million, reduced SG&A by 14%. Yeah, net loss of $51 million. So $61 million charged in the quarter related to the company's new tax position. Second quarter adjusted EBITDA, or $54 million, up 33% year over year, and adjusted EBITDA margin of 29%. Second quarter operating cash flow of $17 million and free cash flow of $11 million, and retained number one share position in Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. So Pennsylvania potentially coming online, be a huge beneficiary of that. They're also in Florida, so it would benefit greatly from that. But not a bad report. Just go through. So yeah, net loss $51,179,000. So trading view is incorrect. And then what do we got for cash? Cash and cash equivalents at the end of the period, sitting on $119,201,000. And then compared to June 30th, 2023, $74 million and change. So yeah, big improvement there. But should be a big beneficiary, like I said, of Florida, and also Illinois has been on the up and up for sure, but Pennsylvania as well on deck. But yeah, in terms of the daily time frame over the last few days, we are up about 22%. Weekly time frame, already got the weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross out of the way, and we've yet to confirm a monthly uptrend. We're just bouncing in this bit of an equilibrium here. We have this range, and we're just stuck within it. So we need our low, high, higher, low. We need the higher high. So it's all about resistance there at 277. Break that, and we're off to the races. Monthly uptrend confirmed. Next resistance would be 420. Love it. All right. Moving on. I got one more. So let's take a look here. And it's the Cannabist Company. So they reported second quarter 2024 results. Revenue 125 million, 125.19 million. And if we just take a look, what do we have for estimates on that? Yeah, 124.376 million was the forecast, and they were estimating negative 0.049 for EPS. So their net income was a loss, 13,643,000. So if we scroll down, came in at negative 0.03. So a slight beat there, and a slight beat on revenue estimates. Cash, 22,332,000. I like this report though, super clean, easy to go through. But yeah, not a bad. It's been a busy couple of weeks with earnings season. We also have Canopy Growth reporting their first quarter fiscal 2025 financial results tomorrow, and that will be before the markets open. And then there will be a conference call as well at 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. I've already done an earnings prep video on Canopy, so if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. Get the analyst estimates and forecasts, and do some analysis of it as well. But curious to hear what everybody thinks. Do you think they're going to miss? Do you think they're going to beat? Do you think we're going to see a positive reaction or negative reaction to their earnings? They did say that they're not going to be releasing any Canopy USA insight or financials until more than likely 2025. I would say probably the second quarter at the earliest. If we're lucky, maybe the first quarter. But yeah, they're saying it's going to be a while yet. They ran into a little bit of a roadblock and hiccups along the way trying to acquire acreage. So, it has to go through approvals and et cetera, and Jetty, WANA, and then we'll see what else they acquire under that U.S. entity. But it's going to be deconsolidated from the Canopy Growth parent company financials. Taking a look at the Cannabist Company here on the daily time frame. From the low a few days ago, we are now back up about 43%. Weekly time frame, we're still within last week's range, so we still haven't broken the high of last week yet. This is a name that's very weak, though. We're in a monthly downtrend, while a lot of names in MJ are in monthly uptrends. This thing's just lower high after lower high after lower low after lower low. So, very weak name. This could be an inverse head and shoulders, though, that's potentially forming. Could look something like this on the monthly time frame. I'm not a huge fan of this company, to be honest. And I'll have to do another video soon where I compare some of the U.S. MSOs, but there's just a lot of overlap. I hear some people say that some of these companies in the U.S. are so differentiated, and I just could not disagree more. Maybe you get like a Florida that's focusing on, Truly that's focusing on Florida, and then you got, the biggest differentiated company in U.S. MJ is Curaleaf to me, right? It has international operations in Europe and Canada, all over the U.S. It said it was number one in Florida as well. I'd like to know exactly where they got that data, but yeah, we could be back up to $2 here if we see this monthly inverse head and shoulders play out, but we still need to come back up to the neckline, form that head, and then a right shoulder, and then change the monthly trend with a higher low and higher high. So the Cannabist Company, definitely one of the weaker names in the MJ space. And just to recap the day today, Huge, Oxley, and ACB led the way with the green train today. Gain train. We had Love, WIB, CGC, High Tide. Tilray up over 5% at the close. Don't go sleeping on Tilray, though. Tilray's going to make a big comeback here soon. In terms of losers on the day today, not a whole lot. DB, NOVC, and that's it. So Nova, MJ, and Decibel. In terms of USMJ, gainers, we had LOWL, IN, and TAT, followed by MSOX. Not surprising to see that one, which is a 2x leverage. But yeah, finished the day up 19%. AYR, great day as well. Verano, might do an update on that. But yeah, they did have earnings as well. Jump into the chat here in a moment as well. But yeah, they missed in terms of their earnings. What else came out today? I just posted it. WM Technology. We had GrowGen, Leafly, Planet 13, TerraSend. So I just posted all of those on X. If you haven't seen those, you can check them out. Might do another update video tomorrow on some of those earnings that I just mentioned. And I'll definitely be covering Canopy Growth earnings as well like I said, that'll be tomorrow. I'll do my best to join the conference call as well. I got a busy day tomorrow, but do my best to jump on that. Jam says, I'm not sure about CGC beating this time. It doesn't look promising. I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not expecting, like right now, their focus has been on the US, so Canopy USA. And as of right now, like I have noticed a lot more of their products in store here in Canada, and the quality has gotten better, especially from like their pre-rolls and their beverages. I've noticed a big improvement there, and I'm starting to see a lot more inventory in stock. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think they're focusing more on the US entity. So I'm not that confident that we're going to see much from their Canadian operations just yet. I think most of the hype's going to come in 2025. Especially if we get, rescheduling and, Ohio coming online, acreage, big footprint there, and rescheduling would have a big impact on that CUSA entity, right? And the bottom line there. He said there will be addressing it in a conference soon, something that has to do with Florida. Yeah, exactly. I posted that as well on X and said X and Grok seem to believe it has something to do. AI seems to think it has something to do with the Florida ballot. So, but again, I don't know if Grok saw my video and it just pulled my thoughts from that video. Hard to say. He didn't actually say it in the interview. Thoughts on CGC's earnings tomorrow? Yeah, so I did a video exactly on that. So if you just go to my YouTube channel, I'll just share my screen here. Go to my YouTube channel and then click on videos. Scroll down, Q1 2025 earnings prep video. So I go through all of that in there. It's a very short video as well, so you can check that out. I just don't want to be redundant and repeat myself, and I want to try to keep these videos as short as possible, especially on live streams. People have been requesting that they remain a little bit shorter, so I want to keep doing that in the interest of everybody's time. How the hell does Ron DeClown support hemp be against MJ? Does that make any sense? Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, he's just working for the incumbents, right? He's trying to slow the industry down. I think he's smarter than that. I think he knows he can't kill it. MJ's here to stay. It's all one and the same, right? Hemp's been around for decades, for centuries really, and has a very huge industrial purpose. And more and more we're starting to see, MJ's not just a recreational, it's not just a medical. Now it's about healthy and living and lifestyle, right? Like Tilray says, it's a lifestyle, and they're a lifestyle brand, and we're taking supplements for for hunger, and it helps with sleep, and all these different types of supplemental reasons that you would take it, right? So it's kind of in between the recreational and the medicinal aspect, but we're starting to see tons of research as well that there's anti-cancer fighting properties, and terpenes and different types of compounds of the plant can act as a great alternative to opioids and pain medication, right? That we know are damaging the lives of people around the globe and killing people. So at the end of the day, I think he's just protecting his incumbents, big pharma, big alcohol, big tobacco, and just trying to slow the industry down while they can get caught up, right? Rod, when I look up who owns Highball, it says Anheuser-Busch, and who owns Anheuser-Busch, it says InBev, ABI, yeah, is owned by Belgian families and Brazilian investors. Where is Tilray in that? Yeah, so Tilray acquired 8 beverage brands. So what you would do, you would just go to Google, Tilray, Anheuser-Busch, 8 beverage brands, and then, Motley Fool, we do not ever go there. Stay away from that. Tilray brands, 8 beverage brands, Anheuser-Busch. And then you scroll down, you do your best to never click on the Motley Fool ever. That is just toxic. And then scroll down, iconic brands. So here it is here, Highball Energy. Was founded in 2005 as a clean energy seltzer made with 0 sugar, 0 calories, organic caffeine. Highball's products have included grapefruit, watermelon, mint, wildberry, blackberry, lemon, lime, peach, vanilla, and all crafted with a proprietary organic certified energy blend consisting of caffeine, guarana, and ginseng. And yeah, that was acquired from them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it might just be at a date more than likely. But yeah, Highball definitely is now owned by Tilray, they even mentioned on the call, in their earnings call, that they launched a highball on Amazon. I don't think you can get it in Canada, but if you're in the US, I heard people are starting to order it. Damn, did I miss the VFF review? I was very pleased overall. The EPS miss is completely explainable. Yeah, I did mention it, Dan, earlier in the video. So if you want to just scroll back after the fact, that should be doable. Yeah, but yeah, they did have a pretty big beat in terms of revenue, and then EPS was a miss, and it looks like it was mostly attributed to the produce segment of their business. But yeah, huge revenue beat, and it's been just up and to the right in terms of revenue. This time last year, 2023, came in at 77 million. This year, 92.18 million. So great to see. But yeah, EPS is the worst since 2 years ago in 2022. Just FYI, regarding the produce side, you need to look at the T12. Historically, summer months pricing drops because additional supply from outdoor veggie grow. Yeah, I'm just a little concerned because like inflation and everything like that. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely not a produce expert. Personally, I own a little bit of VFF, but I'm not really sold on their business model. Seems like they're relying a lot on that aspect, but it's kind of diversification until the U.S. legalizes and we see improvements to excise taxes in Canada, and things start to really get rocking and rolling. But yeah, I have some exposure to it, but it seems like their flour is really good from Pure Sunfarms as well. Here in Canada, I've got nothing bad to say about their MJ segment. The only question mark for me is that produce segment, and I'm just not that interested in produce, to be honest. So that's kind of the reason why I haven't been 100% sold on their business model, but not to say they won't do well in the future. I think they will. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not they hold on to their MJ segment as well, with a lot of competition and consolidation in the space. So, but yeah, definitely wish everybody the best, regardless of which company you're invested in. And like I said, I own every company that I mentioned here today, except the only one is the Cannabist Co. I just have no interest in that company whatsoever. But again, don't wish anything bad upon them or anybody who invested in them. I wish you nothing but the best. I bought the watermelon mint and it sucks. I'm going to try another flavor on my next order. Thanks for the explanation, Rod. Yeah, no problem at all, Jem. Yeah, that's weird. Watermelon mint. I thought that would have been a good one. But yeah, we'll see now that they have control of the brand. We'll see if they do some improvements to it. And they have the Trust Beverage Co. as well, which is the #1 beverage brand here in Canada. And I've tried all their MJ infused beverages and they're fantastic. Like some of them are just out of this world good. I've been to Colorado. I've been to Florida. I've tried some of Nevada. I've tried some of the drinks in in Vegas, and I've tried some of the drinks in Colorado as well. And they're just like, from the quality of the can to the quality of the actual drink, it was atrocious. Like it was so bad I couldn't even finish them. I just like left them on the ground by the garbage can because I was going to the Colorado Avalanche game to watch the hockey game, and they were so bad I just left them. I couldn't take them in with me either, and it was just like, I'm not going to be able to finish these. These are disgusting. I just left them by the garbage can. It was really bad. But yeah, you try some of the drinks here in Canada, it's like no wonder. And Boris Jordan said yesterday on the earnings call that he believes that beverages are going to be the biggest segment next to flour. And that's a bold statement. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, all right, have a great night. Thanks, everybody, for joining us again on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with Powell Group, and we'll see you again on the next video.